Hi everyone, Adrian Player here. On this video we're going to be talking about the move out of main cities. Why did we do it? What lifestyle have we gotten? And what have we done? So go and watch the first kind of 3 videos where you're going to look through how we got here, and then this video we're going to be talking about where we're living, why we're living here, and what my outlook is on the world, and let's just talk about that topic. So I'm going to just move the video around and we're going to talk about where we're sitting. So hopefully you can hear me, and I'll move the camera around. So this is where we're sitting at the moment, and this paperbark tree in the middle of us right now, it's got about 7 kookaburras in it. All right. So now let's talk about where we're sitting and what we're paying and what we're doing. So right in front of us on this deck, I'm in a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house that's 3 times the size of what we were in Brisbane. I'm paying $700 a week in rent, and right now we're in a position where, I'll turn the camera, you can see. Okay, so you've got about 20 to 30 meters of grass at the back. That's our back fence just there. Then you've got the bush over there, so that's about 30 meters away. Then there's about 20 meters of bush. Then there's a river, and then there's about probably 50 to 100 meters of bush, and then you're on the beach and the water. So we're right the beach side of the road in a beach area. Like, the demographic of this area around the Port Macquarie and Coffs region is age 70 and above. All your grandmothers and grandfathers are living here, right? It's a very safe demographic in this area. Everyone's old. And the only 2 jobs that are here are aged care nurse and tradie. That's it. Every second car is a ute tradie working in Port Macquarie or Coffs. And every other second job is aged care or NDIS nurse or something like that, right? So I'm on the beach side of the road, on the beach where I can hear the waves going in the background, and I'm paying $700 a week in rent. If you put this in Brisbane, around where my parents are, Redland Bay, and it's not even a surf beach or an actual beach, it's more of a bay. This size house on the beach side of the road, you'd probably be paying in excess of $1,400 to $1,700 a week in rent. We're paying $700 a week in rent. All right, so what did we want? So life smacks you in the face, right? I'm a husband, I'm a father, I've got 2 kids. All right, I've got 2 boys. And the thing that got us in Brisbane was, just before we left, here's some of the events that occurred in Brisbane. So in Victoria Point in Hungry Jack's, there were 2 girls going around and bringing knives up on other girls and rolling them for their money, their cash, and their shoes. So that was happening. And then another example was 2 teenagers rolled 2 primary school kids at the bus stop. And if you want to think about Victoria Point, it's a very similar demographic to here. It's got its own schools, but a lot of people are older there, like age 60 or age 70. But you started seeing the crime go up, and also you started seeing four people get into a car in Logan Central, and then they go over to Shayla Park and some of these other areas like Redland Bay, and they go kicking in doors to go and steal keys and cars. So we're seeing a lot of that. Then we saw examples of, what else did we see? So Emu Plains or Browns Plains, I can't remember, but there was a lady with her daughter in the car park in the middle of the day, walking from the main shopping centre, which was a big one, a lot of people around, and she got killed in the car park and robbed. Okay, and then there was multiple other examples around the Logan Central area where Maria and I had to get to a point and just say, look, we're not going to go shopping after 4 o'clock. We're only going to park close to where the shops are. You don't get out of the car unless there's a lot of people around. And then we had to start shopping in the other more affluent areas to the north and the northeast, right around Capalba and north of us, north past Mount Gravatt. And it got to a point where we couldn't even walk out our front gate in the top of Logan because it wasn't safe there. And then we looked at the impact that it had on our son, right? Like, we weren't even getting natural sunlight. We couldn't walk out our front gate, even though our neighbours were really nice. So then we found that we were going to Westfield play centres, all right? That was the only way that our child was getting outside. So we just got to the point where it's like, okay, so we've sold the 9 resi properties. We've made our money. Do we go and, spend it on a 1.2 to 1.4 mil house in cash over at our parents' area around the Redland Bay area? But then once you account for 5% of closing costs and then the maintenance and then the fact that those properties in 2020 were selling for, say, 700 to 900 grand, and now they're 1.4. So I would be the end liquidity to the smart person. I'm not getting in at the end of a property cycle, buying that at the end. It just didn't seem right. There was no edge to me, right? So we got to the point where we were like, okay. So Maria said, as long as the kids can be outside and safe, and we can find a nice rental in a nice location. She wanted to be close to a beach. So she said, yes, we can sell the Owner Occ because it wasn't doing right for us. We don't pay CGT on the sale because we were living in it. And then we had to do a lifestyle change. So Maria, God love Maria, she said, okay, let's get our boys outside in a safe area where we don't need to worry. And we can go renting on the beach side, which is exactly what we've done. All right, so I can tell you hand on heart, we've got kangaroos running around the back. We've got koalas. We've seen multiple koalas here. I've got 7 kookaburras, off the back off our deck, right? And every kind of 2 times a week, we're down at the beach or the river or we're outside. And I can say it's the best thing that I've done family-wise. And if we didn't do this, we wouldn't have tried for our second child before we left Brisbane, which is what we've done. All right. So anyone thinking about doing it, do it. But then we've got to talk about the social degradation of our society and our society becoming a lot more low trust now. Okay, everyone is opening their eyes and seeing what's happening in Europe and seeing what's happening in the UK, and it's happening here, it's happening in Canada, it's happening in New Zealand. Now, I just want to premise this by saying there are a lot of good people from a lot of different cultures that are great people. I mean, Maria's Filipino, so I'm in a biracial marriage and biracial household, right? But there's a lot of people that are coming in that are creating a lot of crime. And, I can't remember when I was young going up to a Westfields in South Sydney and gangs having machete fights that they're having in Melbourne, right? So everyone's going through this right now. I keep on saying for the last 5 years, ever since 2020 COVID, Sydney's going to push out people due to prices and cost of living, and Melbourne's going to push out people due to demographics and crime. Okay, and the people that are going to be impacted the most are the young people in every single thing that I'm seeing. And the birth rate's fallen off a cliff. So look, all I can suggest is this: stop taking a side, stop left versus right, male versus female, immigrant versus native, any of that. Just remove yourself from that, because there's a lot of good people from a lot of different places. And just notice the trend and then try and make money from the trend. That's all I suggest that you do. All right? A lot of people in the property space are seeing things happen overseas and they say it can't happen here. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is happening here. And if you're noticing what's happening overseas, you'll have a pretty good playbook on what's happening here, because it seems to be happening in every single Western country that we're going through at the moment. All right, if you've got any questions, send me a message and I'll see you on the next video.